The MCU has clearly fallen off. And oh, there are just so many things you can point to as evidence for their decline. Like how business wise, since Endgame, they have lost over half of their audience. Or creatively, they went from Nick Fury doing this to this. Or going from the Incredible Hulk to She-Hulk. Or having the mightiest Avenger act like this. Or just the fact that this exists. But out of all of these signs of decline mentioned, what may be the most pathetic of them all is if you compare Iron Man to Ironheart. On the one side, you have Iron Man, the movie that was so beloved, strong, and foundational that began the greatest cinematic franchise in history. And then, well, you have Ironfart.
Oh, for crying out loud.
This is a hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby type of matchup, as Ironfart is vastly inferior to Iron Man in every conceivable way, with its cringe-worthy acting, horrible CGI, pathetic writing and dialogue, and the worst failure of them all, vapid characters, as this show has the least bit of understanding of characters and their journey, which is particularly embarrassing as Ironheart is supposed to be connected to one of the most easily recognizable character arcs in modern film, as Iron Man starts off selfish and then ends selfless. It really isn't rocket science here. Starting off his journey, Tony Stark has the vice of not treating the people around him with dignity, and instead treating them like commodities.
Hey Tony, remember me?
Sure don't.
Yet while he's at his lowest, he learns that all of the money, power, and talent in the world means nothing if he doesn't have people around him to love.
So you're a man who has everything and nothing.
Compared to Ironheart, who steals, cheats, and kills her way to ultimately learn nothing, and ends her story by literally selling her soul to the devil.
So do you think I'm a good person?
Good, bad, them words don't really mean anything.
That's a terrible idea.
But now I could imagine that the Marvel shills out there will say, you know, Ironheart really isn't all that different from Iron Man. You know, they're both child geniuses who really act immature before they're humbled. But there are some key things that Ironfart is lacking. As when you are telling a story about a flawed hero, you still need to have redeemable elements to their character. Because if you don't, the audience isn't going to care about them and is just going to write them off. Which instead, you see correctly done with Tony. Now, superficially, Tony's redeemable just in the fact that he's really witty, but deeper than that, Iron Man begins with a man who has a longing to save and protect people through his tech company that has saved millions of lives already through medical advances, plus supplies the military with weaponry to defend the troops. So it's honorable that Tony pursues this. Yet, he is naive on how he's actually causing serious harm to those he's trying to protect. His flaw comes from him being irresponsible with his company, blind to the fact that Stark Industries is selling weapons to terrorists and is also plotting to kill him. So even though Tony has good intentions, his immaturity and recklessness has reached a scenario of being taken to his lowest point. Yet while he's at his lowest, he goes on an arc of taking full responsibility for his actions and ends up becoming a hero. But now we definitely cannot say the same for Ironheart, as she is annoying and evil in the beginning, middle, and end of Ironheart. There is nothing redeemable about her character. She is just morally bankrupt. as she begins the show with the prideful pursuit to be iconic, to build an Iron Man suit so people can recognize her greatness. But she believes that money is what makes people great, that it was money that made Tony Stark Tony Stark.
I need cash, money. Do you think Tony Stark would be Tony Stark if he wasn't a billionaire? No shade. That's just the way the world works.
And does the show ever teach you that Riri is wrong here? No. Which just makes this an offensive misinterpretation of Iron Man, as Iron Man and the Avengers go well out of their way to communicate to you that Tony's greatness doesn't come from his wealth, but from his heart. Plus, Tony's greatest invention ever wasn't created because he was privileged. No, the mini arc reactor didn't come out of a state-of-the-art laboratory, but
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Tony actually had less resources than Riri. She had everything given to her for her to succeed with her Stark internship at MIT, yet even with all of that, she still failed. To get money, she decides to cheat and do homework for other kids. She, of course, gets caught and expelled, so then decides to steal the Iron Man suit from MIT and link up with the most cringe-worthy group of criminals to heroically steal from people with the most idiotic of heists. Now, why did she not sell her amazing inventions to tech companies? Don't know, but as a wise man once said, why make billions when you can steal thousands? And if you can believe it, her story ends with her powering her suit by drawing upon satanic energy and then sells her soul to the devil.
Thanks, Satan.
And by the end, does she have any regrets at all about her stealing or any lessons she learned along the way? No, she only regrets that she got hurt in the process.
Quite frankly, you have been a horrible steward of Stark's legacy.
Thanks for watching
DUCKFINDER.
on YouTube. For more premium content, subscribe.